Now, Sal.
Yeah, I was in Coalition too, by the way.
You were in both movies.
He's here. He's with us.
I was in Coalition.
And the new movie.
Yes, Knock Knock.
Knock Knock.
In Coalition, I was Frank Vincent's right-hand man.
Yes.
Plus, I wrote 2 songs for the soundtrack. I forgot to say that.
And he sang it in Sicilian, actually,
I wrote the 2, and I'm in the scene.
So but you started your career as a musician.
Yeah, I was always in the music business first. I got into acting in 2001.
Well, not that long ago.
Yeah.
Not that long ago at all. Now, what made you cross into acting? Was it just an opportunity knocked and you took it, or was it something that was just begging forever?
Okay, when I hit 40 years old, right?
You were 40?
I'm 47. Can you believe it? What do you call that?
Yeah, that's
just
pretty good.
Just for men, natural black?
Oh, I see.
$7.99. You can get it.
I would never have known.
So anyway, when I hit 40 years old, and you know, I said I'm not going to get a record deal at this time. You know, nobody gives you a record deal at that age. So I said, well, what am I going to do? Let's get into acting. I got into acting, and I just. And we talked about this a long time ago, me and you.
Yeah,
about,
we did.
I feel like I'm repeating myself, telling the same story.
They might have forgot
Joe hasn't heard the story.
I haven't heard it.
He heard it. No, you didn't.
I heard it so many times.
So yeah, I was in the music business all my life. I played all the big clubs. My regular crowd of friends was like Julian Lennon and David Bowie and all the big rock and roll stars. I used to hang out with these guys like every night. All right, pat myself on the back. But I never got a major record deal.
Right.
But we were the 3rd highest drawn band in New York City. We played the China Club like once a month for like 10 years. The Limelight, all the big clubs in Manhattan.
And you played what?
I was actually lead singer 40 pounds ago. No, maybe 10
40
pounds
years?
ago.
Oh, pounds.
You know, well, the waist was a little bit like that more, you know, maybe 20
Is it necessary? Is it really necessary to be 40 pounds lighter to be a lead singer?
Well,
really? No, seriously, do you think so?
It is. I mean, there have been bands that got lucky and the lead singer was 300-400 pounds.
Yeah.
The Blues Travelers, remember? They did it.
Meatloaf.
But
Meatloaf, right?
But, you know, when it's very hard still. The record company is very choosy, you know, and they want the whole package.
Right.
You know, they want the good looks, the slim bodies, you know, image is important.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, we had a good image, and I would just keep missing the boat. When I was doing pop rock, the heavy metal thing came in. When I started getting a little heavier, then the grunge thing came in. Then when I tried to go that way, the rap says, that's it. By the time you know it, I'm already too old to, it's too old to rock and roll.
Sorry, I just don't see you as a rapper.
No,
it's just not working for me.
I could rap a little bit, maybe.
Could you really?
No, I'm only
kidding. No, don't do it.
So I got into acting, I said, in 2001, or 2000. I said, well, what the heck, I got to do something else, you know. I get into acting. And I auditioned for one of those things in the paper, and I ended up on Oz, on HBO.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
You mean you actually answered one of those ads? People call me all the time and said, this ad, they're looking for new actors for movie and TV. And I was like, oh, you know, most of those things are scams.
Yeah, well, extra work. I mean, you know, if you go to, there's so many extra casting people, you know, if you want to start off as an extra, but you have to have, you know, I know a lot of extras have been doing extra work for 30 years and still haven't even got one waiver.
Right.
Because you got to go on
Can you explain that for people who don't know what a waiver is?
A waiver is when you're on the set of a show or a movie or whatever. If mostly every show has to have 25 SAG actors on the show, and the rest could all be non-union. If 1 or 2 SAG actors don't show up for that day, they could take a non-union person and put them in that spot. So that's what happened with me. A few times there was, you know, on Oz there was a few actors that didn't show up for the day. And so I was everybody likes me because of my personality. I'm a very, hey, you know.
Right.
So that's why you got to make noise in this business, or else they don't notice you. If you're in the background and you're quiet, you're staying in the background.
Yeah, they tell me I make a lot of noise.
Yeah. And on Oz, a lot of the directors and the people at places, they say, Sal, where are you supposed to be? I said, wherever the camera is, that's where I'm supposed to be.
That's right.
So you're in the, okay, place yourself, go ahead. So I would like walk by here, walk by there. You're good, Sal, you know what to do, you know? So I got on the Oz, and I worked for one day as a paramedic. That got cut out. But I ended up becoming friends with Tommy Fontana and everybody there, and they told me to come on every day for the next 3 seasons. You know, I was working every day on every episode. Got a lot of close-ups and no speaking parts. And I became friends. Now, this is a good thing. This is leading on to more stuff. I did a lot of other extra work, ads, Law and Order, all that stuff. But this is leading up to this. I became good friends with a lot of big actors on Oz, which one of them was Anthony Chisholm. He was the leader of the Black Gang. I don't know if you watched the show. He talked like this. The time for action has arrived. So I call him up and I say, Anthony, what's going on? He says, Sal, take down this number.
You do it very well.
I said, what? I says, write this number down and call this guy, Joe Ariola. He says, doing a movie called Coalition, which is Joe. Now, this is how the law of attraction with me is always working overtime. He says, call up Joe Ariola. I call up Joe Ariola. I say, hello, I leave a message. Hello, Joe, this is Sal, search over from Oz. I'm a good friend, Anthony Chisholm. Left a message. 10 minutes later, Joe calls me back.
Boom.
We're talking. Joe lives 2 minutes away from my house where I could walk to him. We got a director.
That's convenient.
An actor, and we're like 5 minutes away from each other. So originally I was supposed to be in Coalition as the guy shooting at the end. But like I said, I'm charismatic. And on the first show me and you did, I said charismatic, and you corrected me. Remember that?
Did I?
So it was charismatic. I learned from you.
See,
You're a good
the teacher in me, yeah.
So there goes me again, talking to Joe from becoming the guy who was not supposed to talk and just shooting. Ended up getting a nice part with speaking and writing songs for the soundtrack. So there I go again, moving up on my own.
So here's a question for you. Do you find that that's the way most of your work ends up coming together because you push the Staples button? That was easy.
Yeah. Well, I think on